Welcome to the Safely Controlled Podcast, the show where we think we know what we're talking about, but we're still deeply confused.
That's right, those mysterious, spooky, and sometimes downright ridiculous anomalies that the SCP Foundation works so hard to keep under control.
How do they control them? Why do they control them? Honestly, we're still figuring that out. But hey, we got dice, and that's all we need to choose which SCP we're probably going to mispronounce today.
From homicidal rubber ducks to existentially horrifying vending machines, we're here to explain them to you. Mostly.
So buckle up and suspend your disbelief, and prepare to be entertained by two people pretending they know what's going on. When was the last time we were together?
Last Wednesday? Or are you talking about work?
So we were together last Friday.
Last Friday. Yeah, and that's when we were talking about stuff, and you're like, we should save this for when
right.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're right, that's a good idea. We kept talking about it a little bit, but we kind of stopped, and I can't remember what we were talking about.
Good for you. Good for me too.
Good for us, I guess. Well, no, it's not good. It just
sad
shows
thing.
how like pathetic we are.
Friday after you dropped me off.
Yeah.
I came home and I was work and I didn't want to stink anymore, so I took my shower and then I hate that chair.
Oh, it's fine.
It's so noisy.
It is a little squeaky-ish,
yeah.
But that's cool.
I came home, I took my shower because I didn't want to stink no more.
Right.
And then was getting on Xbox talking to CJ,
okay.
and I stepped outside for a second. And
Enough said.
I was outside for like 5 seconds and like turned around to shut the door, and then my foot was just on fire. And I'm like, what's going on with my foot? So I looked down, and then if you look there, you could probably see that a wasp stung my fucking toe.
Get out.
And it was like, dude, instantly.
Just for no reason.
I assumed that I stepped on it and didn't even notice.
Oh, did you get stung underneath?
No, because he was on top of my foot stinging me.
Oh, he's like, hey, I'm down here.
Yeah,
you
like want to watch where you're going.
You might want to watch your big fucking foot,
bro. It felt like a burning sensation so quick, and then he kind of stung me to the point where like, it wasn't in my foot or anything.
It can't be. They don't have barbs. They can sting multiple times.
A wasp?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So whatever. Yeah, he fucking got me, and I don't think he got it even fully. But then again, that was Friday. It's actually starting to go down. But like,
was it all swollen?
Sunday night and all of yesterday was bad.
Did you work Saturday and Sunday?
Oh
wow. Your foot must have been throbbing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my whole weekend sucked. I got stung in the fucking foot, and then worked on top of it.
Wow, dude.
It was so bad.
That sucks.
When it happened, too, like, I looked down and I was like, motherfuck, son of a bitch, this sucks. And then I realized that I did flip my mic closed at some point.
Okay.
But then I was like, CJ is on my headset.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you hear any of that? He goes, only thing I heard was son of a bitch. I was so mad.
Dude, I mean, what can you say? That happened.
I was just stepping on my foot for a long time just to be like, I'm not going to let any pressure to this.
Oh,
I'm going to ignore it.
Like a tourniquet.
And then as soon as I had to start walking, it was just
it's
throbbing pain. And then, yeah.
That sucks, dude.
The fucking past couple of days of having a stingy toe.
Out of nowhere.
Prick. It's my porch.
Well, wasps are pricks.
Yeah, it's my fucking porch, though. I was mad about it.
I mean, I don't know what good they provide society.
Not mine.
What, the Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not mine. Here.
I want to drink it.
I don't know if it's cold or not. Might be room temp. Any floaters?
There's a spider in here. No, okay.
With your luck, it'll sting you on the lip. You won't.
Dude.
Then you won't be able to do the podcast.
Holy shit! I didn't do it the whole time like this, though. Special containment procedures.
Nice.
So yeah, when was the last time you got stung by a bee? Then.
Years.
Brother.
I was a kid, I'm sure. Yeah. No.
I was on one. I felt like I thought about it, and I was like, I don't even remember the last time I got stung. The worst time I've ever got stung.
Yeah.
Was probably when me and my brother we lived next to the park, and we would always travel back and forth between the park.
Yeah.
and ride bikes and shit and all do like activity shit that kids did.
Right.
And we were walking through the woods with bikes. Now,
Okay.
we could move around, but it was a little like tight fit
Okay.
through a path. And Anthony's brake handle,
Yeah.
caught a wasp's nest. Like on the
Nuh-uh.
hook of the edge
Yeah.
of the handle, just
Like it was that close to the path?
fucking on the side of a bush.
Oh, yeah.
Out of nowhere.
They
We didn't
just-
fucking see it.
No. Yeah. Not unless you're looking for one. They just attacked you guys.
Yeah, like all 7 of them.
Oh, really?
All fucking.
Who got fucked up
800
worse?
of
Probably
them.
you because you were behind.
I think we both we totally both got stung at least like 6 or 7 times.
That had to be a wasp.
It was
nest,
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. You know, the last time I got stung, I don't know if it was a wasp or a bee or what it was, but I was really little. So I have no idea if like I'm allergic to bees. I mean, what if it was a wasp and I'm allergic to bee stings? I don't know if they're similar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no.
Like I have no idea.
Never really done an allergy test.
I did. I guess they would have tested for that.
Yeah, Anna's allergy fucking list is just through the roof.
Oh yeah, there were
Insane
things
woman.
when I was 18 that I was allergic to. That I'm like, how am I showing allergic to? I was allergic to pork. I was allergic to tea. Now they told me that even though you're allergic to it, you can still eat it. Your body produces antibodies against it, but maybe not enough so where you can't see it. So I could eat pork and like be allergic to it, but it's not enough of an allergy to show anything.
Right.
So my whole life I've been eating pork and eating tea.
Anna's
Drinking
allergic to animals. Most
Yeah, me too.
animals.
Cats, dogs.
Anna's
horses.
allergic to cats and dogs.
Horses are the worst for me.
I'm sure she has that as well.
Oh, I have a story about if you want a nice coffee talk story. I got a nice story for you. So.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead. Let me go finish your thought about Anna.
I was gonna say that we lived together, and we lived around dogs. She's had a dog ever since she's been like 14, 15 years old or so, and she's always been having a dog in her house
Okay.
up until we moved into here.
Yeah.
For the past like 2.5 years, we haven't had a dog.
Yeah.
Now, anytime she's around a dog, it messes with her.
Because
Like her allergy
because
came back.
Right, because her body isn't used to producing those antibodies because
Right.
she doesn't live with a dog anymore. Like,
Same thing for the food problem.
yeah, like when we first got our cats, I was fucked. I was so bad, and then then we got more, and then I was around the cats all the time, and now unless my cat scratches me or bites me and breaks the skin a little bit, like not like it mean, but like I'll tussle with my one cat, and he likes playing. You can tell his tail's flicking. Well, sometimes he'll break skin, and then I'll get like a raised bump of like a hive, and it'll go away in a half hour or something like that. But that's about it.
What's your horse story?
Oh, my horse story. So, me, this was 3rd or 4th grade in New York City. We go to a dude ranch, right?
No.
Well, here's the thing. In Long Island, there was this place where you can ride horses and you can do like cool things, and it was a class trip, and we went there.
What is a dude ranch?
It's okay. It's like I guess a dude. Yeah, there aren't any here. It's just like a place you can like do activities, like shoot bow and arrow and do like cowboy stuff and see stuff on the farm.
Like an attraction almost.
Kind of like a farm.
A theme park.
Not a theme park because it's just
Yeah,
for
I know,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like an educational park site.
Okay. Yeah, no, sure. Okay.
There's like some places around here have that.
There's more like camps like that than there are farms.
Well,
around here
yeah, it
in
was.
Philly.
This was just. I mean, it's a
Mountains.
place you can stay. It was maybe a camp, but this
Right.
was just a day trip from school.
Okay.
So I'm there now. My whole life, not around dogs. My whole life, not around cats. No clue. I'm really allergic to anything because I lived in an apartment building. We didn't have them. Plus, I didn't really go to other apartments, and nobody really had a cat. I never touched another cat, so it didn't matter. Go on this dude ranch, right? Having the time of my life. After lunch, they're all going to ride horses. I'm like, great. So I get on this horse. I'm petting this horse. It's almost summertime. I'm sweating, as I do. Sweating, petting this horse, wiping the sweat off my face. Not even 10 minutes later, I break out into hives.
Oh. God.
I could not breathe. I just like choked. My eyes swelled practically shut. It was horrible. So they didn't know what to do with me. Like, you would think they'd call ambulance or something. No, they put me in like this bedroom of the camp office or something, like a sleeping area. And they're like, just sleep it off. 2 hours later, I wake up. Fucked. I go home and I told my mom what happened, and she lost her shit. Freaking out. Calling the school, asking why they didn't take me to the hospital. I could have died, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's how I found out I was allergic to horses.
Did they? Well, okay. So
And
that's when you
animals.
found out.
Yeah. I had no idea. I didn't know what was happening to me.
Right.
It was insane. Because I was never around animals, really.
Like, when you say you broke out into hives, how bad?
Like, all over my body.
Uh,
Like, raised bumps. Like, I was itchy. I was scratching my arms. I was scratching my face. And my eyes were, like, all teary and
So
swelled shut. Oh, my God. Why did they not, like, take me to a hospital?
oh.
They just said sleep it off.
You said sleep.
New York,
You just
New York
couldn't,
school
huh?
system. I'll never forget that.
Your horse story is the best segue.
2.
The Flesh That Hates.
Okay. Is this the one we're doing?
I talked to you about wanting to read something in particular,
Okay.
and that is
Well, then
SCP-610.
this is completely coincidental because I know nothing about this SCP.
But just by the title, like, you having the hives all over your body or something like that, it's just, I don't know. To me,
All right.
it seems good because this one has a pretty decent rating. What was it?
1923. That's really good.
Yeah.
And you told me to watch. Can I mention?
Oh, yeah.
You
Shut
told
up.
me to watch that Meat
Papa
Papa.
Meat.
Papa Meat.
Pop-
Meat Papa. And he looks like a Meat Papa. Anyway, but you said that he did this
Excellent
one.
video.
But I didn't watch it on purpose, just so you guys in the audience knows. I'm like, I didn't want to be influenced by that guy. I didn't want to go into this with. I have no idea. I've never heard. I other than Matt mentioning this number last week, that's all I know about it.
And then I want to say that video is probably like a year or so old now. I remember, his video from, when it came out,
Mhm.
and I figured I wanted to revisit this one because
Does he do a lot of SCPs?
no, they do the creepypasta.
Oh, okay.
They did one, I think, on their actual channel, Creepcast. I
Okay.
think they actually did do at least one SCP on Creepcast, but he did a couple on his channel and then stopped. I think just to do the podcast.
Oh, all right.
I think he likes creepypastas more than he likes SCPs.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's either him or Wendigoon. That's the other one.
Oh.
Shut up.
No clue.
Anyway, so yeah, this one I've heard this one before. I've kind of have read through this before too as well. But it's been about a year or so since I've actually been through this. So once again, this is SCP-610. Rob, would you like to start it off?
Sure. So the object class is Keter. Special containment procedures. Due to the vast area of infection SCP-610 covers, containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proved far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas under the guise of military operations. Should any organism displaying traits consistent with SCP-610 be sighted near this perimeter, then the established protocol requires it to be engaged at range with small arms until immobile, then dispatched using incendiary weapons and munitions from as great a distance as possible. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with SCP-610 is considered expendable and is to be immediately terminated and incinerated. This sounds horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like legit, like a zombie virus or something.
Yep.
All right. Any persons coming within 3 meters of SCP-610 infected life are to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical examination using only remote techniques to determine if infection has occurred and appropriate steps taken based on that determination. So this is some serious shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the present, the known infection vectors for SCP-610 spread seem to be focused on physical contact. Drone movements within heavily infected areas have returned air samples containing minute particulate, which, when exposed to organic compounds, will result in the spread of SCP-610. The results of these particular tests have revealed that most require several days to manifest, if at all, with the exception of direct contact with exposed lung and liver tissue. These particular tests show a rapid rate of growth, which requires incineration of the testing environment no more than 24 hours after initial exposure, with even a 2-hour mishap risking a compromised facility event. Given that this kind of rapid growth only occurs in organic material existing outside the human body, this form of infection is currently considered a minor concern. All right, this is just getting worse and worse as we go. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna. The shit will hit the fan at one point.
Oh,
you're gonna love it. It's like a. This is just a horror show, by the way.
All right. I'm down. All right. These particularities have given rise to a series of questions regarding These particularities have given rise to a series of questions regarding the possible origin of the infection in conjunction with the failed blank. Containment protocol remains at a scorched earth policy at this time, and no concern for transmission via water or air at infection parameters exists, barring situational changes in the field. So here's the description of it. Initial reports of SCP-610 came direct from the Russian government through undisclosable channels. These reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region and were not considered until the local police, followed by the regional police, and finally a government dispatched agent, all failed to report within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. Areas of known infection are marked on a map provided to us here. Should we focus on that? Let's take a quick look. Oh, look at that. That must be Lake Baikal from far away. And it's in a foreign language. And we're back. Containment perimeters are marked in blue surrounding these infection areas, and as of present, no further locations have been identified. Incursions into the perimeter must be reported prior to conducting, confirmed during exploration, and debriefed on immediately following return. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease at first, with symptoms including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. I'm just getting itchy sitting here.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna break out in hives.
I'm gonna break out in hives. Is there a horse around here? Yeah. And increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes resembling heavy scar tissue to form in the chest and arm areas, spreading to the legs and back within an additional hour, and then consuming the victim completely within 5 hours.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Flesh-eating diseases.
It's just imagine it. All right. Exposure to higher temperatures vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes. You know, why doesn't Hollywood take a fucking, instead of redoing 18 movies and 15 Marvel movies a year, let's do shit like this. Do you know what I mean? This is like serious shit. Mm-hmm. This is Last of Us times two.
There's multiple like short films and shit that have been taken and made influenced by SCPs or creepypasta stories and shit like that. It's been done.
It needs to be done more, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. But it's also like a rights issue too.
Is it? Oh yeah, I guess so.
It's an author.
It is an author, so they'd have to pay him. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, never mind then.
Oh.
These authors should call the movie theaters. There's your solution.
Yeah. Stop putting. Well, no, because in all honesty, I love this fucking shit.
Oh, I do too.
This is the stuff that's awesome right here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have this if it wasn't for this collaboration of writers
this group.
Shit. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which they will restart 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. So this is zombie shit. Maybe. Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move of its own accord and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point under the infection, and the path of mutation appears to be largely random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs of a type such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen and elongate or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open, from which additional branches of flesh will grow. What the fuck?
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
Woo!
The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages. There's more stages.
Oh, yeah.
Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable where it roots itself. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across its surrounding objects and consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection as living creatures do, however, and the effect of prolonged contact with these objects is recorded later in this document. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable to continued growth of the other infected. What the fuck, dude? Seriously. Like, I keep saying that over and over, but I'm like, what the hell?
What do we have here? We have a massive flesh-eating disease that basically will just start
growing limbs out, mutating. You split open, limbs grow out of you. Mm-hmm. You start spreading your shit to other shit around you. Like if I was one of those that would spread out to this desk and mic,
start eating that up,
and start eating that shit up right now, and that's all me. No, this is really fucked.
Like the blob,
like a zombie, but like different, like a slime mold.
Oh fuck! It's like, just remember the Human Planet?
Yes,
the SCP.
Yes, I remember now.
This is kind of like that, but it's like this is what would live on the planet.
Yeah.
Or this is what the planet
this is
was
a
made
small.
out of.
Yeah, this is like a small slice of that.
Observation of life infected by 610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infections. Those infected past the scar tissue phase actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an unidentified area.
Wow.
It has been established that should an infected be capable of sight and observe an uninfected, it will proceed toward them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe.
Wait, I thought they were like attached to the stuff that was growing around them, or not? It's just spreading.
The closer you are, obviously, the higher risk you have.
Yeah, of getting grabbed
right.
or whatever. But I'm sure there's extra limbs. It's easier to get
right.
grabbed.
It's not like a force. Like I think, I don't know what the range is. Maybe they're faster.
You know what? Like, you know when you
they're
watch
mutated, so they're a little faster.
You know, like when you watch a zombie show, might be something you can completely cut out if you want. But you know when you watch a zombie show and you're like, I wonder if these zombies are going to be slow zombies or them rage fast fucking zombies.
Oh yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference, but some is like, you know, The Walking Dead where they're barely making their way at you.
Sometimes they run in The Walking Dead though.
Yeah, they do, but not like they do it like World War Z.
I was
Those
just gonna say,
fuckers run. They're like Carl Lewis on that bitch. You know what I mean?
Fastest zombies.
I know, and it's computer generated, and you see like they all like go up like a wall at the same time. It's scary as shit.
There was another one that I would have compared to World War Z, but do you ever see I Am Legend with Will Smith?
Absolutely.
Is that a zombie?
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are big and strong.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same thing as World War Z. Those are not this. This is more of a grotesque zombie.
It's like I'm thinking of like, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm watching the show every week, The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. But like I just imagine this slime mold that grows away, like a slime mold, like just something that grows and just envelops something and just starts affecting it.
This reminds me of a movie, Planet Terror. It's Robert Rodriguez movie. It's like this biological weapon that happened to leak out, and then everybody starts breathing this shit, and then they all get infected.
That sounds like my jam.
And they start having flesh mutations and shit like that, like their skin's bubbling.
Oh, I need to watch it then for sure. Is it the one with Salma Hayek? No,
that's from Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, I love that movie's great.
That's fantastic.
Those are vampires.
I know. Yeah, I know.
But no. Whatever this is obviously not vampires.
No, I know. We are so going off on a tangent right now.
But that's fine. I'll get back on it right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Because this is the last little bit that's actually a part of the original file, and then there's a bunch of field logs. Observation of 610 infected settlements have been established using artificial methods such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread 610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered to be neutralized threat. Of concern are the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements that were discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas are underway. Now, we're using robots to communicate.
This is great. Is this robot logs?
I'm guessing trying to contain 610. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 is
Scrubbing active. Reactive again.
starting with the small remote control rover sent to Site A to locate missing personnel. After establishing the containment perimeter for 610, the Russian government approved for our request to research and investigate the area. For the first such exploration, a small camera-mounted unit known as Herbie was dispatched at the safe distance and directed towards Site A. Herbie has battery life of 12 hours and control range far wider than the required for this dispatch. Herbie is able to enter Site A without incident. The landscape around Site A shows early stages of assimilation by a singular 610 infected who have fallen at a largely random intervals around what remains of the village. Many of the homes appear to have suffered fire damage long since put out. However, a fair amount remain intact. Aerial reconnaissance of Site A combined with thermal imaging has put in an estimated population of 79 infected. Immobile infected are included in the number. However, it is difficult to ascertain an exact percentage of mobile versus immobile.
So, okay.
Some of the infected
Right.
are attached
Yeah.
to whatever they're latching
And then
onto.
some aren't.
And some are very mobile and have the
That's-
limbs to, I guess, just
what would
tumbleweed their way to fucking shit.
Yeah. That's okay. Tumbleweed. Yeah.
I know, I'm just thinking
No,
of somebody
no,
made
that's a
like,
good-
it's just like an endless cartwheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like, so basically the whole log is going to be a video log of people, like somebody just controlling a robot.
Yeah.
And watching whatever's on the camera.
Varying degrees of physical mutation due to SCP-610 are present in Site A, and it is assumed that all the inhabitants are in advanced stages of infection. Herbie observed the exterior of the village for 2 hours, during which time all infected behaved with what appeared to be a loose sense of social structure. Because Herbie remained stationary during this observation period, it is unknown precisely what each individual infected person was doing. However, the Central Plaza experienced occasional bursts of activity and downtime. Requiring more information, Herbie was directed to follow an infected as it entered a home. So it looks like the next is just someone watching the video and describing what they're seeing. There's bumpy camera feed as Herbie scoots over the gravel behind the quickly shambling infected person. The interior of this home is the same as that attached to the primary file for SCP-610. The infected being tailed is the one sitting at the table. After entering the home, Herbie's camera was raised slowly as to not draw attention. This action was either unnoticed or ignored. The infected person is watched from the doorway as it hobbles around the home and stops at each of the other visible infected organisms. However, it appears to ignore the one under the table, which, while not immobile, does not leave that area. What this creature was before infection is unclear. So, it could have been anything. It could have been a dog. It could have been a cat.
Could have been a child.
Oh, yeah, could have been a child. Oh, wow.
After lapping the table and repeating this procedure 3 times, the primary infected person, known as Alpha, henceforward, stops at the bedridden infected known as Beta and proceeds to assault it with furious punches.
Whoa.
Beta is unable to leave the bed for unknown reasons, but is not completely immobile as it flails its arms in response to the beatings delivered by Alpha.
Okay.
After several sustained minutes of this beating, a piercing sound explodes from the area around Beta, who then proceeds to project a cloud of unknown matter into the air from its chest cavity. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Alpha lingers in the cloud as it floats in the air around them, slowly descending to the ground. The unknown life form on the table beside Beta begins to twitch in an apparent seizure, and Alpha then laps the room twice more, stomping again at each infected organism, but still ignoring one under the table, as well as Beta now.
So, what was the point of that?
Whatever the fuck came out of his chest seemed to be is that what she wanted?
I guess.
Alpha
I mean, why
wanted?
are you beating the shit? I don't know. It's a weird society, I guess. It's a weird thing. After these 2 laps, Alpha seats itself at the table and reaches out to position the 3 plates atop it as if setting a dinner set. After the plates are positioned, the facial tendrils extending from Alpha wiggle up and start to coil on one of the plates before tearing apart and separating. This is repeated at each plate. The image attached to SCP-610 primary file is a still image of this occurrence.
The file at the beginning of the...
yeah.
Remember
Right.
that?
Yes, I do. Tentacles, it's like...
The wiggle tendrils.
Yeah.
That's why he looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
After each plate is filled with Alpha's flesh, it leaves the table and approaches Herbie, which is moved from Alpha's path. Alpha leaves the home, but Herbie's camera remains focused on the table. After several minutes, a group comprised of 6 to 7 infected enter the room from outside, still ignoring Herbie. Each infected shambles as if movement is difficult, jerking in large steps or squirming in small ones. These infected all surround the table and each take turns grabbing handfuls of the flesh substance left behind by Alpha, pressing it into whatever orifices on themselves that they can. Some into mouths,
Jeez.
some into chests, some behind their backs, some up under their arms.
As you do.
When all the plates are empty, this group leaves. Herbie remains here for several more minutes before retracting its camera and leaving.
I guess
Herbie's just a petrified robot, like
if Herbie had emotions, he'd be grossed out.
just
Yeah.
like a robot sad face, like just on his front panel. On his front panel, he's just crying on the inside.
Okay, this is horror.
This is like a Rob Zombie House of a Thousand Corpses type shit.
Is it?
Like or Texas Chainsaw Massacre type horror.
Yeah, those I never watch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's this one in particular gets me with Texas Chainsaw. One of them had Matthew McConaughey in it.
Really?
It was Matthew McConaughey.
Is it like early in his career?
Yeah, I would say it's like a maybe early mid 90 movie.
Oh wow.
It's not good,
Oh,
but like
sure.
it's just reminding me of this one.
Okay.
There's a part where like it's Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey are like the stars of the movie. Mm-hmm. Are you doing the? He's doing the squish face.
I scrunched my face up.
It's really good.
Yeah,
You do a really good one. Yeah, like, by the way, the movie wasn't good. It's just one scene in that movie where they cut the one person's finger, her finger, and then the old man drinks it.
Drinks the finger.
Yeah, drinks the blood out of her finger.
Oh, so it's a vampire movie.
It's it's not vampires. It's just all the flesh shit that they do.
Okay.
Go ahead, then.
I'm next.
Yeah.
Immediately after leaving the home, Herbie collides with an object. Panning the camera around the obstruction appears to be Alpha, whose facial tendrils are intermingling with another infected having similar mutations. The impact is ignored and the 2 infected part their ways after several minutes. Herbie is then directed to explore more areas of the village.
Alpha's just sitting there making out with somebody with other tendrils.
Yeah. They're tendril swapping. The remains of what appears to have been a store show signs of severe fire damage as well as activity inside the building, which Herbie moves in to investigate. The door is slightly ajar, and with firm movements of Herbie, it is pushed open. No notice is taken of this action, and it is ignored.
Inside the store are several infected persons, most of whom are standing around. However, one is on the ground rolling back and forth over the space of approximately 1 foot and is ignored by the others. Herbie rolls under the divider separating the cashier area from the customer area and pans around behind the counter. The upper half of the person is protruding from a cellar door behind the counter. This person does not appear to be suffering from advanced infection and wears a garb of a Russian soldier. Herbie zooms the camera in to confirm the identification and has noticed that the eyes of the person are constant movement, often focusing on Herbie. The rest of the soldier does not move.
So the soldier's just like...
He sees it.
He sees it, but he can't move.
Because he's alive?
Or scared?
Well, he sees the thing. I'm thinking that he might be like,
oh
like
shit,
this.
I better not move. Yeah.
Well, whoa. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's scared at the sense of, like, I don't know, like, I'm not infected, please don't kill me, robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's scared as shit. Maybe. Herbie is directed to leave the area and proceeds to the back room. In this storage area, a large pile of bodies are stacked together. Some pieces of clothing are visible and appear to contain both military garb and everyday clothing. No facial features are discernible on any of the bodies due to the way they're stacked. Atop the bodies, an infected sits, appearing to have its lower parts fused to the pile with its upper half in a wild state of flailing and seizure. Approximately every 10 seconds, a burst of spores flies out of the top of this infected, which linger in the air. Herbie is directed to leave the building. So this is like, it's like the bodies are like feeding this spore thing that this guy is using all the energy underneath them to like spew spores everywhere. It's gross. Like, there's a visual image I have of this.
No facial features.
No facial features.
Because they're just stacked and it's just a bunch of fucking bodies mutated together.
And then this thing on top spitting shit, flailing.
What is that?
Can you imagine the smell?
Ah! That's gross. That's what
this is absolutely. I'm glad I didn't eat breakfast this morning.
There we go. After leaving the building, Herbie passes by the village well, surrounding which are series of immobile infected all facing the well. The arms of each of these infected persons are stretched out, one in contact with the next, forming a perfect chain, save for one whose arms are down at its sides. Herbie passes by the last infected to approach what appears to have been a town hall or a mayor's building when the infected becomes mobile and snatches up the rover.
Huh.
Aw, Herbie got kidnapped by...
That's why he never returned.
Aw. What were they doing, like Hands Across America?
Yeah, what about him?
Like, around the well?
Around, like, Baikal. Lake Baikal.
Video feed from Herbie focuses on the face of the infected, which is strangely in perfect shape given the condition of the rest of its body, which is horribly bloated. The infected was once a young girl from the appearance, age estimated 10 to 12.
Double awe.
Oh,
right.
Herbie is rolled side to side in its grip as face stares motionless at the rover. The infected's face suddenly balloons its size and explodes outward in a series of fleshy flaps that grips Herbie and draws it inside. Herbie's video feed terminates here.
So it ingested Herbie.
It just ate the robot.
With a big old face flaps. Yuck.
Wow.
Face flapped Herbie. Herbie's was considered lost at this point. However, no one at Control remembered to turn off the video feed, assuming it cut. 5 hours later, Herbie's video feed resumed, stationary at an erased level pointing at the upper rim of the village well. The video feed contains some blur due to what appears to be a slimy film which often oozes across the lens, but when not obscured, provides the perfect quality recording. Herbie's does not respond to any remote commands, but its video jerks back and forth from target to target, zooming in and out of its own accord. Video feed is cut manually, and all connections to Herbie's unit are ordered erased.
Well,
next document.
Well, we got that anyway.
That was horrible, dude. That was like, I felt bad for a damn robot.
And you didn't feel bad for the once 10, 12-year-old girl that is now a mutated freak?
That has face flaps that ate Herbie and
you're not
shit him out at the well or whatever happened.
Moving on to log 2 out of 5.
That's fine. All right. During construction of the perimeter surrounding SCP-610's containment area, several D-class personnel were infected due to assaults from infected villagers or animals roaming the area, in addition to a number of infections as a result of escape attempts and careless behavior. Most of these infected personnel were immediately destroyed with flamethrowers. However, a small collection of infected were contained in cold storage units, which prolonged the inevitable progression of SCP-610's mutative properties. The decision was made to utilize some of these infected personnel as video relays and dispatch them into nearby sites. Oh, that's a great idea. That's such a good idea. Let's take these infected and just keep spreading them everywhere and like put video. Actually, it's not a bad idea.
Oh, now you're switching sides immediately?
It's kind of smart. From like trying to get information standpoint. It's pretty fucked that they're doing it, but I get why they're doing it.
Due to the concern over loss of equipment as evidenced in 610 log 1, all 3 subjects that were used in the manner were sent in with single video system to Site C. Additional equipment used for this dispatch: 1 gallon container of gasoline, 3 emergency flares, 3 9mm pistols with 3 magazines of ammo, 3 single servings of food rations. The infected personnel were instructed to observe and avoid interaction with the infected villagers as long as possible, but should a situation arise where they are met with aggression or feel like they are losing themselves to 610's influence, they are free to kill as many infected villagers as they so choose and do as much damage to the infected objects and the property as possible while maintaining video feed. Well, this might be where all the burned homes and shit are coming from. Is
Right. But like, so they're sending these
These are the
infected
D-class.
personnel.
These
They're
are the
D-class
D-class.
personnel. These are dirtbags, right? You got dirtbag personnels that I like to call them, and they're going in and it's like, listen, kill whatever you see if you're attacked, and we're gonna have video cameras on you. This is kind of dope.
Dirtbag Doug. The intent of this order was to provide data of 610 infected communities in a raid situation so a plan of eradication could be better established.
At the time of this expedition, Site C was suspected to be a possible origin point for SCP-610, having far fewer mobile infected than any other sites, as well as structures which appear to have been layered over several times with the terraforming effects of the immobile infected. Dispatched Class D personnel, known henceforth as DI-1, DI-2, and DI-3, were directed to pay particular attention to anything that could be considered an origin point for SCP-610. The trek from our perimeter camp to Site C was uneventful. There is no evidence of any native animal life in the area. As Site C is approached, there is a noticeable rise in the temperature within the last 30 meters of the trip that necessitates removal of the heavy, cold-based coverings that were provided. The temperature rises again sharply at the entrance to Site C proper, which requires a further shedding of garments for fear of heat stroke. Site C is described as being heavily humid and around 32 degrees Celsius, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the first immediately noticed traits about Site C is an array of immobile pylons, which encircle what is believed to be the entirety of the site. Separated by an apparent distance of 5 to 6 meters, each pylon appears to be two or four infected persons fused together in one spot. On some of these pylons, features such as faces or anuses are still visible in addition to several other holes which do not naturally occur, all appearing to act as heat vents. Where the heat is generated is unknown. So you got heat vents coming out of faces and assholes. Current belief is that this is an advanced stage. Oh, it's an advanced stage. At least we know that at the advanced stage, you get assholes all over you. Of SCP-610, terraforming its environment to facilitate spread of itself. I wonder what it smells like there.
Ass.
Ass and face. Morning
Ass
breath
face.
and asshole breath.
I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to the ass face.
Yeah. Speaking of ass face, Dirtbag Doug 2, who is furthest along in progression of SCP-610 of the three by a number of hours, begins to seizure only after a few minutes in Site C during examination of the pylons. The progression of scar tissue of SCP-610 infection is observed in full course as Doug 2 spasms on the ground, his entire body being overtaken by the sickly tan flesh almost entirely after 45 seconds. Doug 2 is terminated by a gunshot from Doug 1, and his equipment is left where it is. The spread of SCP-610 over Doug 2 continues even after death of the body until all movement ceases. Horrific.
Oh!
Wow.
Shot him immediately.
Like, bam, dude. Like, you know what? You're on the ground, bam.
Hey, look, you're not looking really good.
And
at
you're
all.
you're sicker than we are. Pow.
There's shit
Oh.
all over you.
Pow.
He said pow.
He said pow.
Oh, fuck.
As perimeter control is relaying new instructions to Dirtbag Doug 1 and Dirtbag Doug 3 regarding this situation where there's a shift in the ground covering Site C where Dirtbag Doug 2's body is. Video feed shows the flesh-like growth splitting open beneath his body and a series of ropey tendrils, they gotta stop using that word, coming from within the gap to pull his corpse inside. This opening closes up quickly. Total time elapsed 3 seconds.
Whips him in.
Right? Oh, with tendrils. What's with the tendrils?
There's, I don't know.
That word just instills like horrific thoughts in my mind. Growths.
And it's a tendril is a growth. To
Like
you.
I imagine like
yeah,
like
a
spiky
finger.
fingers. Yeah, like some kind of like
slimy,
like
bullshit.
venomy, like venom.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
That's what I envision, but not black like I imagine it like flesh and blood and ooze and pus.
Ugh,
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, that's good.
Right?
That's
That's
good.
what I'm picturing. Thank you, cannabis.
As Doug 1 and Doug 3 decide to act quickly in these hotter temperatures, fearing the same fate, they proceed to the village center and encounter another previously unknown phenomenon. In the precise center of town, rising above what was the community well, is a sphere suspended by angled supports composed of 610 flesh. This ball is riddled with the features of humans as in early stages of 610 infection, as well as a good number of assumed to be in later stages. A number of specimens of non-human life forms such as deer and bear also visible within the mass. The entire sphere of flesh pulses at roughly a 5-second interval, and with each pulse emits a ring of spore-like material from its equator. This material floats to the ground and appears to be absorbed into the converted environment.
Doug 3 begins to douse the sphere with the provided gasoline, and then when questioned by a panicking Doug 1, explains this looks like a good thing to burn as any. At this point, perimeter control has ceased giving commands due to the rapid deterioration of events. There is no reaction from anything within Site C to any of this activity until the precise moment at which a lit emergency flare is applied to the spherical mass, which immediately goes up in flames. The remote feed plays back a noise from an unknown location that seems to come from a location far outside of Site C, but was reported as being heard even at perimeter control by both Sites C and A. This noise is described as both explosive, as if multiple high-yield charges were detonated on a mountainside, and alive, like a large feral creature roaring. Within 15 seconds following the sound's dissipation, Site A reported that a series of explosions had occurred within the village. 5 seconds after this report, the spherical mass in the middle of Site C explodes. That's kind of cool that they lit it with gas. It took
Flesh
and then blew up. Big
everywhere, and then they're just covered in it.
Big old flesh explosion.
Oh, they're
Can
dead.
you imagine being Dougs?
Oh, yeah.
The Dougs just getting rained on by this mass of flesh, looking at each other, be like, fuck me.
I really hope I'm not a Doug and I'm like the other guy on the other side of the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and just sitting there watching it.
Can you imagine
Fucking-
being a Doug, though?
Could you, like, is he eating popcorn? What are you doing? You just throwing up the entire time?
Yeah.
Seems kind of gross.
Yeah, and then they're getting rained on by all this flesh.
Ugh.
So Doug 1 and 3 are thrown by the blast. Doug 3 is confirmed deceased by the other Doug, after regaining his footing, having suffered injury from thrown shrapnel from the well. Doug 1 is able to report that he has bruises and ringing ears, but aside from the rapidly spreading SCP-610 infection, he has suffered no blast damage. During this recording of footage, Doug 1 had his video equipment removed and was looking into it. Due to the angle of recording, it is unknown precisely what occurred in Site C, but something draws Doug 1's attention back to the center of town, where he stares for several moments and then is pulled in the opposite direction. The video equipment falling to the ground and recording in a skyward direction. The last moments of footage from Doug 1's video unit display a humanoid figure moving through the air, followed by the sound of an impact in the same direction. Within 3 seconds of this event, an unknown creature stepped upon the recording video equipment and destroyed it. Perimeter control remained on high alert for a full 24 hours at all locations without any incident following this event.
So Site C is pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah.
Moving on to Log 3. The destruction caused by the rapid collapse of Site C exploration attempt during Log 2 resulted in a series of unexpected events in Site A. As the strange spherical formation in Site C was burned and destroyed, 610 infection inhabiting Site A were recorded by aerial drones going into seizures and convulsions. The immobile 610 infected rapidly shriveled and died, along with all the flesh material spread across the inanimate objects within the village. The mobile 610 infected, who were able to regain their footing along, proceeded what appears to have formerly been an upper class resident and entered the building. As the infected entered this dwelling, it suffered a foundational collapse, revealing the presence of a sinkhole beneath it. The size of the hole in relation to the structure above it posed an impossibility for an entire building to collapse, suggesting something within the hole applied force directly to the structure with the intent to pull inside and expose the hole.
Wow.
Some of it, like once that ball blew up in C,
Yeah.
things in A started dying.
Right.
And people...
The infected there already started going into seizures and convulsions. The revealed hole is approximately large enough to accommodate 3 grown men standing shoulder to shoulder. Light sources applied by remote drones fail to penetrate further than 4 meters depth into the hole. Objects dropped into the hole do not produce an impact sound, suggesting a bottom potentially more than 1,000 meters down. So you drop something down there, you can't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Research of the exterior of Site A's hole was only able to be carried out for 2 hours' time. Will you grow the fuck up?
You prick.
Why? Because
That's so funny.
it is.
The Site A hole.
Site A hole.
Okay.
Samples of the atmosphere in Site A indicated a complete death of SCP-610 related materials. All infectious life that did not evacuate into the hole died above ground and quickly became shriveled husks.
The A-hole.
The A-hole. In the span of 30 minutes, a total of 3 research teams consisting to 2 to 3 research staff and 4 to 5 armed escort each were dispatched and setting up stations within the remains of the village. Samples of deceased SCP-610 infected and converted matter were sent back to Perimeter HQ for processing and transport. One team was able to recover a small sample of still living SCP-610 tissue substance from a building and pack it for research. Bad idea, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Within the second hour of exploration of Site A, series of echo reverberation units were set up surrounding the hole with the intent of giving an accurate mapping of the hole and possible branch tunnels. So they're using echo reverberation tech to map it out.
At the end of the second hour before the echo units could be activated, seismic activity began to occur within Site A. 2 teams of the original 3 remained on the site. The third en route back to Perimeter HQ with samples. The third team was instructed to proceed back to Perimeter HQ with seismic activity began and was told that Site A should not be returned to for assistance. Seismic activity at A capped at 2.3 Richter level before petering off.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate following the seismic event, a torrent of 610 spores erupted from a hole and layered the area around it for a span of 50 meters. Ew. That's like, so just deep down buried 610 flesh
Yeah.
gets fucking erupted like a volcano.
Yep.
And
For a
instead
span
of
of
lava, 50
just
meters of
spores.
fucking flesh?
No,
and
spores. Spores erupted from the hole.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically like seeds.
That's
seeds
to start your infection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. As all staff on site were in level A hazardous material suits, this spore burst was startling but did not lead to any infections. No, fuck you. No, it didn't.
Well, it's saying it didn't.
As the eruption was being reported, both teams at Site A came under attack from aerial life forms infected with 610.
Oh.
These organisms were captured by the remote drone video equipment and showed extremely advanced stages of infection. It is impossible to tell what they mutated from to this present state. Flying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Many of the avian creatures attacked by splitting their heads. Many of the avian creatures attacked by splitting their heads in half and clamping them against research members, pulling them into the air and dropping them into the hole.
Dude.
The A-hole, they drop them into the A-hole.
But look.
Wait a minute, that's like Star Wars.
The A-hole? Oh, that Sarlacc pit?
The fucking worm or whatever.
Sarlacc
that
pit.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Not like that.
No, I might have the term wrong. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I think it is.
Dispatching them into the total of 2 researcher staffs were lost to the hole and 1 injured due to crossfire. The injured staff was put down immediately upon showing signs of infection. Oh my god.
They're all shooting around the hole.
They use the term put down.
Yeah. The injured
Like-
staff was put down because, well, he had infection.
I know, I get it, but
Pow.
I feel like They throw around the word terminated a lot. I feel like in this file, put down is like...
Well, they're doing it as
like
an act of
an
mercy.
animal.
No, they're doing it as an act of mercy, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed that Doug too.
Yep. Before video and radio contact was lost with the remaining teams inside a second seismic event began to occur starting out in the 1 to 1.5 range in scale. Attention was directed at the hole to prepare for a second assault. A second spore burst erupted from the hole during the rising seismic activity. At the point where scales registered a 3 to 3.5 in force, a new unseen SCP-610 entity began to emerge from the hole. The only footage captured of this creature depicts an engorged human head approximately 20 times larger than normal, pressing itself out of the hole with no discernible body. Jesus Christ. This is just nightmare fodder, man.
Fucking big ass head just poking out of the hole.
20 times its size, all deformed and shit. It's anyway. Video and radio contact were lost as seismic forces increased to 7 on the scale for 2 seconds duration, and then abruptly ceased. Further aerial surveillance of Site A hole, yeah, giggity, and area depicts zero activity and no traces of the research teams of ever having been there. All personnel and equipment are considered lost. All right, let's check out number 4. Events regarding the discovery, research, and handling of SCP-610 rapidly degraded to a point where fail-safe operations were being considered. For over 1 hour, nothing further had happened at Site A following the loss of the research teams during seismic events in Log 3 and subsequent contact with previously unseen SCP-10 life forms. With the absence of activity at Site A remote drone dispatch was authorized in 2 parts. The first part would drop a remote relay device at the entrance to Site A sinkhole, and the second part would dispatch a drone into the hole directly to relay its data to the remote relay for transmission back to HQ. Drones on site were powered by solar energy, with a battery maintaining a 4-hour charge. Attached is the video log recovered from the Site A sinkhole drone before its loss.
And this is the description of said video. Video feed activates. Researcher's face is seen looking into the camera, applying a polished cloth to the lens. This is explorative drone RSCP-610-1 coming online. Systems check out. Video confirmed. Feed is good to relay station. We are testing rotors now and deploying it successful. The sound of a helicopter blade starts up and video feeds begin to lift it in the air. Camera tilts left and right to test pan features, then directs itself towards the Site A sinkhole. Video feed is go. Engines are a go. Links are green. All right, sending drones down now. Audio from outside world fades away as camera angles itself down and peers into the darkness within the sinkhole. After approximately 2 minutes of descent, lights on the drone activate and illuminate a roughly dug shaft. Initially, it is unclear what could have created the hole, but at a glance it would appear that the shaft was created by a single event rather than dug over time.
Like an explosion?
Is it Earth?
It doesn't say. I would assume.
What if it's just the fucking flesh?
What if it's rock? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it says right here.
Go ahead.
At about 15 meters of descent, there are traces of SCP-610 material attached to the dirt and stuck to rocks.
It's both.
It's both, dirt and rocks. It's just earth. The material is dormant but retains its texture and appearance, unlike samples from above ground level, which shrivel and dry rapidly. There is a possible connection with this material in the events last recorded during Log 3. Descent continues. At about 100 meters in depth, branch tunnels become visible in the walls of the sinkhole. Panning of the camera reveals small tunnels branching out at apparently random intervals, but which are not restricted to any one side of the hole. These tunnels are considered too small for any useful exploration to occur. Descent continues. Increase in density of SCP-610 materials on walls is noted as depth increases, so it's becoming more flesh-like as they go down.
Yeah, I would say that it's burrowing itself deep underneath the ground, and it lives better down there.
Maybe. Or it's safer down there.
Yeah, it may just be hiding.
Yeah. At about 250 meters, the bottom of the sinkhole becomes visible and the tunnel slopes sharply, suggesting an unnatural formation which was already suspected. Drone video shifts to illuminate this tunnel, and drone proceeds forward through that area. SCP-610 coats the entirety of the tunnel now, and now care is taken to keep the drone from coming in contact with any surface. Movement is detected about 5 meters ahead. Lights on the drone are dimmed and weapons come online.
Oh, the drone has weapons. The SCP-610 drone is equipped with a 5.56 millimeter machine gun containing 50 rounds of ammo. Sick. This is meant to use to deter wildlife away from drone and defend against aggression when possible rather than to dispatch a target, although it is fully capable of handling human aggressors and in small groups. Yeah, well, it's a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's shooting M16 shells.
Camera focus turns to the moving mass of flesh ahead at about 3 meters. After focus clears, the movement appears to be coming from what appears to be a deer, uninfected, wriggling in the grips of the tendrils composed of 610 material. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Tendrils are back.
Just fucking deer suspended above the ground with unclear intent. The drone is moved past the trapped deer while holding it in the view of camera until safely away. Nothing occurs with the deer and the drone proceeds past undisturbed.
Okay.
So
so it just goes past this little interaction.
I'm assuming that the deer was just flailing around and screaming and shit, and then this little robot thing just
flies past.
Let me go around. The previously fairly level ground of the tunnel displays a large hump in apparently random placement about 5 meters ahead of the drone and around 30 meters past the encountered deer. Upon approach, these lumps turn out to be similar to the infected villagers who escaped from Site A into the A-hole after the destruction of Site C. The sound of rushing water is now detected and the drone is pushed forward.
100 meters further down into the tunnel, the sound of running water is now deafening. Drone lights reveal a running stream of water potentially from one of the adjacent rivers of the area. A sample vial is placed in the water, allowed to collect, and then released with an active tracking beacon.
I don't want to know what that water. Nope.
I wouldn't say you drink it, but
well, I don't want to know what's in it.
Well, we'll see right here.
It's blood, piss, and shit again.
Later recovery of the sample. That was funny. Later recovery of the sample includes no SCP-610 contamination of groundwater, so it's fine.
Fuck you.
Well, the tunnel splits in two at this point. One tunnel leads around the river and then seems to slope downward, while the other is directly above a light source in the ceiling. This second one is selected to facilitate recovery of this drone. During adjustment of the drone's flight path, it comes in contact with a portion of the tunnel wall coated in SCP-610, causing a deep gash from the propeller of the drone, which is already healing over when the camera focuses on the impact point. The drone proceeds upward, so it self-heals.
Oh God, dude, that's so, it cut it and it's able to heal itself immediately. I saw that. That's
saw that coming?
No, I mean, I saw that in my head.
Approximately 300 meters of upwards travel, taking approximately 45 minutes, results in the drone emerging into a windy section of mountain where it is directed to stay low. So it goes up this tunnel, taking 45 minutes to go up 300 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So there must be a hell of a downwind. So results in the drone emerging into a windy section of mountain where it's directed to stay low. Camera panning of the area reveals what may have once been a village long since abandoned. The precise location is unclear, but it is assumed to be in the vicinity of Site B, judging from estimates and travel by the drone. The buildings here are coated in deceased layers of SCP-610, and unlike other buildings in Site A and Site C, which were coated in 610, these buildings appear to be constructed directly from the tissue substance.
This is the fucking planet.
Yeah.
See, now that reminded me of that planet.
Right.
Because on that planet, there were like structures that were built out and around of the same material as the planet.
Right. After a cursory scan of Site B, it is determined that there is no life here, either natural or SCP-610 related. So the drone is directed back into the tunnel, as the winds around the area make aerial recovery impossible. So I guess they said, we can't rescue you because it's too windy where you're at. Go back down and see if you can find another way. Upon descent into the tunnel, a deep roaring sound fills the audio and video feed, becomes choppy as something blocks the signal. During the periods in which the connection of the drone is the clearest, Its camera and weapon are angled downward and propellers slow in speed to allow a faster drop. Video feed becomes entirely clear for the final 2 minutes before feed is lost. Rushing up toward the drone from the area below is what appears to be a large human face stretched to 20 times its proportions, with no features save those created by the SCP-610 material. There are no eye sockets but no eyes, a mouth but no teeth. The drone fires upon this rushing mass of SCP-610, but the bullets do not deter it, impact points remaining visible for several seconds before closing in over themselves. There is no room in the tunnel for the drone to take evasive action, and it's swallowed by the mass.
Oh, that's
But it's such a great visual.
What a crazy image.
In my head, this can
it looks
easily...
like a large human face, but with no features. What in my head, it's literally just, it looks like it has a face, but it's literally just completely made out of that material. No eyes, no teeth, no tongue, shit like that.
Dude, if I was
fucking nuts.
If I was an AI artist, I would like do AI based off of SCPs. That would be badass.
I wonder if I can just ask ChatGPT, be like, hey, do me a favor and summarize 610 and then draw me a picture of the face.
Do a video of it.
Huh?
They do videos now too.
Oh, you right?
Yeah.
I can ask them to make it a video?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'll look into that.
Okay.
The drone is considered lost until 3 hours later when the feed inexplicably returns. Video feed from the drone appears to show a series of structures illuminated by one of the 2 lights on the drone. The camera pans around without instructions from the remote relays or HQ, capturing a vast number of shambling entities within the area. 610 material moves over the lens of the drone and the video feed is permanently severed. So it just came like on and then like you just see a bunch of crap and then the drone just gets fucking taken in by the flesh.
Yeah. And then manned exploration was approved. Results are in document log 5.
This is the dumbest idea that they've had.
Approval from Central HQ was granted for a manned assault excursion into the tunnels beneath Site A to try to ascertain the extent of the SCP-610 infection. The destruction of Site A and Site C have established SCP-610 can be contained and destroyed, making the source of the infection top priority. The initial descent into the tunnels consists of 5 teams, 2 research and 3 assault, along with enough equipment to establish an underground base of operations.
They blew up the ball site in Site C and Site A kind of started to deteriorate there. So are they just going to be looking for more fleshy fucking spheres of
I'm assuming
shit?
A manned assault excursion. There we go. Descent into the tunnels was established using pulley systems and a lift to move equipment. Assault teams were out the first to descend, armed with flame units to clean SCP-610 out of the area.
Oh, fucking!
They're gonna
flame
throw. When in doubt, light them out. All teams were able to descend without incident, and flame units took point, providing an undisturbed journey toward the water source where SCP, the drone, was lost. Base camp for underground SCP-610 operations resides at the bottom of a 3-way junction, 4 if the water flow is included. The first pathway that led from Site A to Cavern HQ. The second is the pathway to the ruined village residing in the mountains above where the drone was destroyed by a large unknown SCP-610 entity. The third pathway leads west and seems to follow the flow of the water for an unknown distance. The cavern area here is quite large and is supported by a number of rock formations that are coated with decayed SCP-610 material. The state of this material suggests a great age and appears to reinforce the structural supports. Whether this is intentional or coincidental is unknown.
The material deteriorates and becomes solid. I mean, what happens to flesh when it is like dying?
It dehydrates. It dries out. It turns into jerky.
And then it's solid and then it's stable.
Yeah, it just dries out and it's
and then if that's
everywhere.
like used, and then if it's on like and it's died out, but it's the foundation of a structure, then it should hold. The 2 research teams split activities between building Cavern HQ and collecting samples of 610 in various states. No contagious materials were detected within the area, and the creature recorded by unmanned drones did not appear at any point of the cavern staff. Of the 4 research teams, 3 were ordered to proceed down the unexplored path while an aerial drone was prepped for a second recon of the vertical shaft. 610 infected did not appear in the third pathway until approximately 3 kilometers, and serious infection did not appear until 16 kilometers in. Even after, so they're walking in and they're immediately getting infected.
Yeah.
Even after the lengths traveled by the assault teams, no 610 infection life forms were encountered, and the fleshy material coating the cavern, while poses to no threat to the team. The most significant reports at this time were the increasing thickness of the material, suggesting a source, and the complete lack of 610 contamination in the water. As a test, a sample of 610 was cut away from the cavern wall and placed in the flow of the water.
That's smart.
It exhibited no unusual reaction, but was quickly swept away by the current.
Well, there you go. Now they donated it to the waterway that wasn't even infected.
At 20 kilometers in, the leader of the assault teams requested a transport buggy to be dispatched to them. One was available at the above-ground HQ. However, it would take some time to move it to the cavern HQ, then remote drive it to the teams. Rations provided to the assault teams were sufficient, so a camp was established while the buggy was moved and readied.
During this time, an aerial drone was also sent to explore the vertical shaft. The results of this exploration were placed on hold with the arrival of the buggy at Cavern HQ and ultimately concluded in document. The buggy was navigated to the assault team encampment with no effects en route. However, upon arrival and preparation to continue the exploration, the assault teams came under attack by a large number of 610 and... Why are you doing that?
I'm just anytime I think of like a 610 infected...
Oh, you're doing the Tendrils.
It's the Tendril people.
Yeah, he's doing the... What was the
he's
Futurama character?
Zoidberg.
Yeah, it's Zoidberg. He's doing the Zoidberg fingers.
This is me doing the... so that's why he's all tentacly.
Oh, yeah.
From, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ah.
Davy Jones.
I do kind of get that reference.
Do you fear death?
The buggy was navigated to the assault team encampment with no events en route. However, upon arrival and preparation to continue the exploration, the assault teams came under attack by a number of large SCP-610 infected life forms that emerged from the area ahead of them. Video recovered from the assault team camera show them caught off guard as the SCP-610 infected made no sound and were undetectable. On one film, for 1 or 2 seconds, it appears that some of the creatures are coming out of the SCP-610 materials on the wall, not emerging from them so much as being created by the material and then breaking away to act independently.
Oh, that's fucking...
nightmare fuel, dude.
That's so creepy.
Yeah. During this assault, in an attempt to protect the buggy, members were lost to the water currents and contact with them was lost. Contact was regained, however, and is recorded in Log 6. The remainder of the assault team now consisted of 3 members armed with a single flame unit. Use of this unit to repel the assault proved vital, as standard firearms did minimal damage to the infected creature, so the fire really gets them. These infected creatures show minimal traits to associate them with any known form of life in the region, giving rise to the belief they may have been spawned by the SCP-610 infection itself as a form of defense. No further casualties were suffered during the raid, and remaining members managed to eliminate all attacking infected, allowing them to continue with exploration with added orders to attempt to locate lost team members. A further 20 kilometers down into the tunnel, the river separated from the tunnel pathway, and the team was instructed to abandon the recovery order, given the inability to navigate the water safely. A total time of passed before the remaining assault team reached an end in the tunnel. At the perimeter of the area now known as Site B, the team came under assault again from a smaller number of SCP-610 that were much larger in size. These infected appeared in the tunnel as if they were laying in wait for the approaching team. These creatures were dispatched using the flame unit, although all fuel for the unit was expended in this act. The assault team was now limited to standard weapons and short-range personal flame units. At least they had the short-range ones. A time lapse of 5 minutes is allowed to pass before the team proceeds farther into Site B, cautious of further assaults by SCP-610 infected. The tunnel widens into what appears to have been once a village of indeterminate age. The construction of the buildings in this area are primitive compared to the settlements at Site A and Site C, and are clearly of human construction. Mainly buildings rest at angles or slants, suggesting they were disturbed by a cave-in. Of interest is a building that appears to be a church with a working clock tower. This building is built atop the remains of 2 older buildings that have fallen completely and has a visibly stable foundation.
Time to go to the church.
Yeah. Let's hope that helps you here.
Surrounding all structures in the area is a depression of the ground filled with a substance resembling a liquefied form of 610 fleshy materials. The pole moves as if it's acted upon by minute and unseen forces, rippling outward from invisible contact points and rolling in waves from unfelt winds. The team avoids this pull at all times and proceeds through the ruined, slowly unstable foundations where possible, making the church their target area. Within the church are pews, as would be expected. However, there are only 4, one of them shattered, when the building could accommodate as many as 20. The 3 intact pews are arranged in a 2-1 formation facing a pulpit. There is no trace of dust on any surface, the entire area appearing to be immaculately clean, giving the location and believed age. Behind the pulpit is a hole in the floor exposing the area of 610's pole beneath the building. The church is clean and untouched.
Coincidence?
That is a nice touch to this.
Why?
That it's just fucking scathed by being in the caverns and shit. What it seems like, it's literally a church that got caved in. It's a normal church. It's an actual like house of God.
Right.
And it's unfucking faith or unfathomed by whatever the fuck's going on here. Kind of neat.
Kind of cool. Kind of.
Unless it isn't.
The church and ruins appear to be uninhabited, and exploration of the church proper is uneventful until the clock tower bell tolls. This tolling triggers a shudder in the building, followed by human screams from the ceiling. Lights shown upon the ceiling revealed a large mass of SCP-610 from which descend a series of 6 wooden circles.
Outside or inside?
Inside, up from the ceiling. Strapped to each circle is a living human coated entirely from neck to toe in SCP-610, but having an exposed head which appears uninfected. These human captives scream as the bell continues to toll, and the circles move to the ground. The team begins to move toward one to investigate when an unknown creature cries from the outside of the building, prompting them to take cover in shadows near the pulpit. Light sources are extinguished, pitching the entire area into darkness. Night vision is left off to avoid revealing the team's location.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Sounds continue to emit from the outside of the church, drawing closer but lower than the frantic screams of the captive humans. At least one noticed the team as the captive humans often call out to be saved. From the entrance to the church, a candle lights on the side of the doorway, then one on the other side. A figure is seen holding a small torch and moving back and forth between the series of candles to light the doorway. The flame is then applied to a rope coated in SCP-610, which quickly ignites and spreads up to a particular chandelier system at the church entrance. The light from this system illuminates most of the crosses but does not reach the team's hiding place. Those captives who appear in the light do not show standard signs of the beige-colored SCP-610 infection, but instead are wrapped in a red variant of it, which shows signs of constant motion rippling across itself in waves. Oh, the picture this paints in your head, dude.
Yeah,
is it not like
it's
intense?
It's a horror film.
It's great. Like, I am like imagining all this.
It moves.
Yeah, and it rippling. The fact that it ripples, that word is like so good here.
From outside the church, a flood of 610 infected shamble quickly into the area, ignoring the man who lit the candles and stands in the middle of the room. They proceed to the captives on the wooden circles and begin to pull at the red 610 masses, and resulting in further screams and cries. From what can be gathered from the return video feed, the red 610 seems to be connected to the captives and using them as a source of sustenance that is then used to grow and feed the normal 610 infected. Overly zealous infected tear at the red mass too hard, which results in pulling skin and tissue from the human captive beneath. Oh, fucking Christ. Fucking. Oh. This exposed area is quickly covered over by the red mass, which then grows in size. Feeding like this continues for approximately 6 minutes, at which time the candle-bearing figures sound a gong and all infected entities move to the pews. There are several more creatures than seats, but none move past the frontmost pews.
The figure who sounded the gong does not move, spontaneously collapsing as if made from hollow clay. From the pulpit area, activity is noted as a pillar of SCP-610 flesh rises through the hole and extends, directing itself toward the gathered creatures. No sound is heard, and no motion is recorded once the pillar stops moving. This silent period persists for 10 minutes without even the human captives making a sound, having fallen silent at an unknown point. The pillar of SCP-610 retracts back into the hole it emerged from without any warning, prompting the departure of the infected from the building. The candles remain lit, and the team emerges after all infected appear to leave the area. The descended captives remain at ground level as well, as screaming seeming to have ceased, but still showing signs of life, with heavy breathing and movement. Upon departure from the church, camera feeds from all three members became erratic. Camera 1 ceases transmitting completely, Camera 2 shoots up straight into the air for several meters, and Camera 3 captures the member, with Camera 2 being flung by a tendril that emerges out from the ground itself, swinging them out of sight to the other side of the ruins. Just wails them, dude.
Camera 1 got fucking like maybe just got taken down immediately.
Yeah. Here, it says
Camera 2, that guy just got shot up in the fucking air.
Yeah. And Camera 3 sees it. Camera 1's feed is restored and displays Camera 3's owner running briefly in the direction of the lost team member, only to turn and run back as SCP-610 infected pour from between buildings. Combat ensues between the two members and the onrushing infected using assault rifles and personal flame units, successfully driving back enough of the horde to make an escape toward the buggy. Passing a building, Camera 1's owner is ambushed by a figure resembling the figure who was in the church lighting candles, wielding a large crop scythe. Camera 3's owner continues without pause toward the buggy location. However, the buggy is found half absorbed by the SCP-610 mass covering the floor. While turning to find another way of escape, Camera 3's owner turns to find the same figure with the scythe approaching, weapon raised. 2 shots are fired and the camera feed ends. 5 hours later, while final decisions were underway to decide how to contain or eradicate the SCP-610 threat, time-delayed video feed from the lost team members who fell into the underground river currents was established and has been filed in SCP Log 6. There is no Log 6, huh?
Well, no, Log 6 is there, but we're just not allowed to read that. Log 6 exists, but whatever is in it is just
I want to read
high-level
Log 6.
class.
I want to read
type shit.
I need to read Log 6.
Right? Doesn't it piss you off?
God, I need to read Log 6. We just did 5 of them.
The following field report is for Class A or higher personnel only. Unauthorized viewing of this file is strictly prohibited and will be considered a violation of Foundation contracts and a breach of international law. Log 6, exploration records of Operation
Source point, where it came from. I want to know where this fucking came from.
They really did cliffhanger the fuck out of that.
It's good, though.
I wonder if, there might be something that you can connect to this, but as far as I know, that's it. That's where it ends.
Because this is my favorite one so far.
That's a 5.
This is a 5.
It's a 6.
No, it's a 5, but it's good.
You want to start rating them out of 10? Is that what you said?
I do want to start rating them out of 10, but I don't want to be the only one that does that. And it's not my vote.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a. If we're on a 1 to 10, this is a 10. If we're on a 1 to 5, this is a 5.
This is the best of the best.
It's really good.
That is, it's just imagery on top of whatever. Like you're just. Yeah. When you're thinking about what's going on in the moment, going back to the 3 dirtbag Dougs walking around, the one immediately gets infected.
Oh yeah.
Shoot that guy.
Yeah.
Take him out. Put him out of his misery. Then blowing up Site C, Site A.
Yeah.
Gets infected.
So good.
The Site A's infection dies off. A little bit.
Yeah. Everything. The visuals, the storyline,
the fucking face in the hole that doesn't have eyes or teeth.
Oh, just so
the cavern walls
creative.
that are covered that are dirt but also fleshy, and then deeper down you go,
dehydrated,
more fleshy,
gross.
Yeah, the dehydrated fucking skin that is like the structures of buildings and shit.
Just,
and then the ending there, that fucking church scene,
man,
wicked.
And the fact that it is a church kind of like gives it that like religious undertones too. Really good. How long is this one? 2 hours.
Welcome to our longest episode so far.
Congrats
Holy
to us.
shit.
Fist bump right there, buddy. Yeah.
Oh my god. Almost a 2-hour recording. Fuck
Well,
me.
by the time you're done editing.
Oh yeah, but we've been here for a while.
Yeah. It was good. I like it.
No, like, yeah, for sure. This, like, we've read, like, we compared this to one of the SCPs that we read. Don't know the number, but it was the Humanoid Planet.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like, this had, like, similar vibes, but this one goes way harder.
Oh, dude, this just took it to a level of intensity that was just way past that one.
And then we did, like, my favorite one that we had read so far would still be the Orbit, Trapped in Your Orbit.
That was a good one.
But I think this is totally going to overtake it.
Oh,
I mean, like, I know I picked this one on purpose because I've heard it before, but like,
yeah, you have
this second read over too.
Well, here's, and now that we've done this, now I'm going to go watch that Papa Meat video. I keep wanting to say Meat Papa.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Meat video.
You're thinking of Meat Canyon.
I am.
That's his other shit.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
So,
all right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about this one.
This was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we'll end this episode. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Safely Controlled podcast. Check out other stuff on the channel, gameplay videos, other episodes of podcasts like the Rogue Report.
Of course, if you can, like and subscribe.
Please do. Please do. Rob, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, absolutely.
And partaking in this fucking journey of a fucking episode.
This was so fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right. Keep your ear to the ground for the next episode. Until then, we will see you.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.